Namaste, this is Danielle and Trey with Elevation Studio. And today we'd like to bring you kind of personally what we do every day, which is from foundation training. And this has helped our backs so much. I like to incorporate this in the morning before I have a day of gardening or a day of heavy lifting. It's great for construction workers, anybody physically using their body, or anybody really sitting too much. Jobs. These days, we're sitting in our couch at home. So this will really tone the muscles, the posterior chain muscles to the spine. And we're just going to combine a few of the foundation training exercises in this video that you literally can do every day for 20 minutes. So if you do this together as a whole practice, this is great, but you can take the exercises individually and just do 5 minutes. So let's get started. I'm going to show you the first thing is the decompression breath. It's a special breath that we used for this. And I want you to take your thumbs to the base of your rib and your forefingers to the tops of your hips. So there's that space between the rib cage and the hips. I want you to start to breathe in through the nose and expand this space. So you're not physically moving your fingers, but you're moving and opening up this space with your breath itself. So this is called decompression breath. We take that breath in, and we feel an immediate lift in the chest. We're going to hold that lift as we exhale. Now, this is where it feels a little different than maybe our yogic breath where we release down. So we're going to lift up with every inhale, increase that space, that decompressive quality of the breathing between the ribs and the hips. Find that space, hold that space, and exhale with that lifted quality. Next round, I want you to breathe just as much into the back body so we don't forget about our back. So again, a couple more rounds of practicing decompression breath. Inhale, big breath in. We expand. We actually feel the muscles moving, the intercostal muscles of the ribs. Keep that lift as you exhale. You might get a little lightheaded when you start this breathing practice, and that is normal, and it will go away with practice and time. You'll just be receiving a lot more oxygen, and you'll be using your lungs at the full functioning power. Okay, we're going to take this decompression breath with us now into the actual work. So we'll start standing. One of the more basic exercises in this training is called the founder. And today we'll start with the founder with our feet a little wider than our hips, parallel in pointing forward. Hug the feet toward each other. This immediately starts to turn the inner thighs in. Okay. Now, one of the mistakes we make a lot, and we keep the back compressed, is that when we take a forward fold, we're keeping that compression and we're kind of rounding the spine. We want to strengthen the back, and so we want to load tension. We want to use the muscles of the back body. So the hips have to hinge back. This is one of the key components. So as I move the hips back, my knees are soft, they're slightly bent, but they're moving back as well. My hips start to go hinge from the hips back, and I feel the tension loading in the low back. Okay, now the exercise is working because it's hard, right? Start to decompress in the breathing so you don't lose that lift in the chest. You don't lose that space between the ribs and the pelvis. Reach the arms out now in front of you as the hips hinge back. You might even feel a pinchiness in the hips. You're getting low and you're getting grounded in the hips. Toes might even lift up here. Lift your arms a little bit higher. Hold for a few more rounds of breaths here. Now point the thumbs down. Lift the arms a little bit higher. Really load the back. It should be trembling. You should be trembling. We are. That's it. Few more rounds here. Beautiful. Bring the hands right into the armpits as you bend the elbows back. Keep the spine extended, the chest lifted as you start to hinge the upper body in these good mornings. Right? So we're still hinging the hips back. I feel my hamstrings at work. We're hugging the feet toward each other. So the adductors, the inner thighs are working, and we're extending the spine with a nice lifted chest. Again, we've loaded tension in the low back. It seems ironic because we feel tension in our back from sitting too much. But again, we're strengthening and adding length to those muscles in the back body. So we want to feel the tension. Tension's a good word here. Few more here. And then re-extend the arms, reach, reach, reach. Start to forward fold. Now, if you're not able to reach the floor, and you might not in the beginning of your practice with this, reach for some blocks, reach for something. I'm going to show you with a chair. I have a chair here. You're welcome to go get a chair and just place your hands on the back of the chair. Keep extending the spine, hips hinge back. Trey's using blocks. He's going to counter stretch the arms as much as he can in front of him with the spine as much as he's going back. Hips and knees are going back. A few more lengthy breaths here, decompressive breaths coming through the back body. Don't forget about the back body. Try to smile and try to smile. It's getting challenging now. Beautiful. We can rock the weight a little bit more toward the four corners of the feet. Take your yoga blocks right underneath your heart. This will give you a little bit more height. Some friends might be on their fingertips. Bring the right hand underneath your heart. The left arm is going to extend to the sky, and we take a full spinal rotation and have a nice right inner thigh stretch here. So the whole spine rotates in this. Keep hugging the feet toward each other. Keep the adductors working. And now exhale, rotate back and all the way through and underneath to the right side. Keep going now. In the rhythm of this rotation, keep breathing. You might inhale, reach up. Whatever breathing pattern really works for you, but it's decompressive. You want that space. You do this about 10 times. Everything's still working. The back still is strengthening as you're lengthening. Beautiful. Keep going. Full rotation. You feel that nice stretch in the right inner thigh, which that muscle really needs that stretch. So this is great. Okay, now we're going to reach up, return back to center. Left hand under the heart, right arm to the sky. Now we're going to feel the inner left thigh stretch. And rotate back under to the left. Exhale, inhale, reach up. The whole spine rotates. The hips are still hinging back. We have length in the lumbar as we load that strength. Remember to breathe. You can try to smile with this. It really does make the work easier always. Linger in the stretch if you need that. Okay, let's come back to center. Again, we do that about 10 times. Bend the knees, place your hands on the shins, press down through the feet, reach your arms behind you, lift the chest, load that back a little bit more, lift the chest, chin toward the chest. I want you to hold a tennis ball between the chin and the chest and lengthen the back of the neck. Notice we've been looking down at the earth. Okay, now press through the feet, reach the arms up, press down even more, and rise all the way to stand. We're going to step the feet together and practice loading the glute, strengthening the glute and hamstrings with some lunges. Step the right foot forward, left foot back, right knee over the right ankle. We want to stack that. I want you to hug the feet toward each other. Again, really using the adductors, the inner thighs. That might seem counterintuitive there, but you feel that load. Good. Reach the arms up. We're going to take a nice lateral stretch here. Right fingers around the left wrist. Bend over to the right, so the left side feels really open in that breathing space. And then back on a diagonal just a bit more. So we have a nice extension here. Beautiful left side stretch. Start to lift and lower the left heel in a way that you feel only your ankle moving. And this is going to start to strengthen and stretch the fascia of the left ankle joint. So just the lift and lower of the left heel and that beautiful stretch through the left side. Keep breathing. Use that space that you're finding between the ribs. Feels great. Good, and come on back to center. Now we're going to load the right glute and hamstring. I want you to reach the arms in front of you so you extend the spine forward. Keep hugging the feet toward each other. Load, lift the arms up, chest up a little bit more. Really load that glute and hamstring here. Lift the chest a little bit more and start to rotate to the right. Rotate to the, like you're holding a beach ball. To the right and bringing it back. To the right, bringing it back. Now you can stay with the rotation. You can also just stay to the right and hold. Keep loading that right side. I'm sweating, I'm trembling, it's working, but I'm smiling. And we're gonna come on back. Bring the hands back into the armpits, elbows bent. We'll take some more good mornings here. This is where we hinge forward with the spine up and down. Extension, we don't lose that height, that buoyancy in the chest. Keep breathing. We're really loading the strength into the glute and hamstring here. Feel free to smile again. That's it. You do about 10, 15 of those. Reach the arms out. Lift the arms up. Press down into that right foot. Step the left foot forward. I think we need a little shake out of that right leg. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And we have 2 legs. We're so blessed. Second side. Step the left foot forward, right foot back. Left knee bends over the left ankle. Hug the feet toward each other. Beautiful decompression breath. We have it going on. Reach the arms up. Left fingers wrap around the right wrist. Take that nice side bend to the right and also on a diagonal back. So we find a lot of breathing space in the intercostal muscles. Again, we're going to strengthen the right ankle joint by lifting and lowering the heel. So only the ankle is moving in that back leg. Back knee is soft. And we feel the stretch through the fascia, all that connective tissue of the back right foot. Obviously a calf stretch as well. Enjoy that breathing space to the right side body. A few more of these. And we'll come on back to center. Okay, we're going to load the left quad and hamstring, hip. Reach the arms forward, load it up, hug the feet toward each other. Keep the inner thighs stabilizing. Extend the spine, lift the chest a little bit more. Turn those thumbs down, let's lift the arms a little bit more. Beautiful. Good, let's hold that beach ball again. Lift the chest and rotate to the left. Rotate to the left. And you can keep rotating again, keeping the hips still, so we're rotating from the anchor of our hips, or you can stay to the left and reach. Trey will show the rotation, I'm showing the stationary. Beautiful. And we'll take it back to the center, bend the elbows back, just a few more seconds of this, and we'll take some good mornings. Again, we are loaded and strengthened in that left glute. Trembling, shaking, but we're changing the strength, the length of our back. We have great lumbar space here. Posterior chain will thank us all day long. A few more here, we're ready. Pause that, step into the left foot, load it up, and step out of the lunge. Shake that left leg out. Woo! Nice job, everyone. We are ready to take it down to the mat. Okay, so for the next exercise, we're going to actually switch to the connection of our front body muscles to the spine with an eight-point plank. Different than your typical plank exercise. This one's really effective for really feeling not just the strength of the core, the front body chain to the spine, but also for our thoracic spine breathing. We want a lot of space to breathe in the upper back. To do this, we're going to bring our elbows in front of our shoulders. So it's not your typical elbows under the shoulders, they're slightly in front. Press down through your hands strong. You can claw the earth. Curl the toes under, press down through your toes. This is already active. What we're going to do is pretend we have a tennis ball or an avocado underneath our chin and lift the back of the neck up, lengthen the back of the neck. So I'm holding a tennis ball between the chin and the chest here in my mind, and I feel that length in the back. We're going to continue to lift the upper back here, right? Squeeze the knees together, turn on those inner thighs. Try squeezing the elbows together. Now the hips only lift a few inches. They're not as high as the upper back. As you lift the thoracic spine, hold that tennis ball, breathe wider. Think of the cobra hood, nice and big. Navel toward the spine. You're shaking, you're trembling, that front body is turning on. If you feel this in the low back, you're just lifting your hips a little too high. Lower the hips. Okay, now slowly lower down. And that was one 8-point plank. We like to do it about 8 times. as a Tabata, where we go up for 20 seconds, come down for a nice 20-second rest. You can do this 4 times and it would be effective. Build up to it, but do it every day. Let's try it again. Elbows in front, hands down, hands pressed, toes press, knees are down. And you can experiment as you lift the upper back, hugging in the knees toward each other or away from each other, but your muscles are activated into the earth toward each other or away, and it's emanating really from the power of the core. Lift the back of the neck, breathe even more into the upper back when things get really shaky. Beautiful. Can you smile? And then come slowly down. Take a rest. I like to rest my head. Whew. I like to wiggle it out a little bit in between. And we'll take one more for today. But again, you guys can do this around 8 times. Build up to it. I wouldn't say it gets easier. You get more empowered and stronger. That's for sure. Elbows away, again, out away from the shoulders. Press down through the hands, the feet. When you're ready, slowly lift and breathe as much as you can into that upper back, as big as you can make it. Navel toward the spine, trembling, hips slightly lower. Lower them more. Yes, keep breathing. Let yourself change. A few more seconds here. Beautiful. Lower slowly down and rest. Whew, we are working. Let's turn over onto the back. That's what's so great about these exercises is they don't take a long time, but if you do them right and you do them every day, they're super effective. We're going to come onto our back now for anchored bridge. We touched on this in an earlier video. I like to incorporate it for back into the posterior chain strengthening. Legs are extended, about bent knees 6 to 8 inches, so the legs are not locked in the knees, right? We've got a 6 to 8 inch knee bend. Knees come together. You do not want to release your knees away from each other. Knees squeeze together. That turns on the adductors. Heels are slightly apart, but the big toe mounds are together. Squeeze those together. Now, with the feet flexed, press the heels into the floor and drag the feet back. It's an isometric action, so you don't see it happening, but you feel it. The hamstrings are working here. Now draw the heads of the arms back to the floor and open your chest. Take those decompression breaths. Remember, in the beginning, we set that breath up, that space between the rib cage and the pelvis. We're going to activate the chest a little bit more. I want you to lift your hands up above your heart. Fingertips together, holding an imaginary ball, wrapping around a big grapefruit. Press about 5 to 10 pounds of pressure into each fingertip, into each other, and draw the heads of the arms back. Now we're set up. Now start to drag again, those heels back, activate the hamstrings, squeeze those knees together, and breathe. There's a lot of action. It doesn't look like there's a lot going on, but there is. Keep breathing, about 20 seconds. Remember, these exercises, about 20 seconds long. Breathe. Good, and then slowly release and rest. I'm just going to show you a couple other variations, and you can stick with that, with the hips down on the floor. This next round, we'll lift the hips as an option. Again, let's get back into it. Knees together, big toe mounds together, flex your feet, fingertips together around the grapefruit, heads of the arms back. This time, activate. See if you can lift your hips 1 inch. 1 inch is not very much, right? This is not your typical bridge. If that's too much, bring the hips back down and keep contracting. This is all isometric. If the hips are up, make sure it's only 1 inch. Do it with a smile. You're going to feel that so much stronger all day long. And cumulatively for the rest of your life. Bring it down and rest. I'm going to show you one final version here. If the lifted arms are too much, right, you can go now down to the floor. We can just take the fingertips down. You can start every day with the hands down alongside of you. A little wider than your hips, or a lot wider, but the fingers are tented, that same amount of pressure into the floor through the fingertips. Go ahead and flex your feet. Remember, the knees stay together. Inner big toe mounds, kiss. Drag those heels back, press down through the fingertips. Again, expand the chest, expand the space as you turn it all on between the ribs and the hips and your breathing. Remember that space we just created in the upper back breathing in our 8-point plank. Whew. Option to lift the hips. Keep breathing. We're not holding our breath through any of this. Gorgeous. And release. Shake it all out. Whew. You guys are awesome. So again, this is from Foundation Training by Dr. Eric Goodman. It's something that Trey and I do pretty much every single day. We notice a big difference the days we miss when we're gardening or lifting buckets of dirt.
Or building walls.
Or building walls. Or again, this really helps the strengthening to the spine from oversitting. Even if you're not a physical person, right? We feel that compression in the low back. So this will strengthen the back. You do it every single day. It's safe to do every single day, and you will feel the difference. So thank you so much for sweating with us, and I hope to see you again. If you have any questions about this practice, please comment. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, there'll be lots more videos, so please do. And much love from Elevation Studio. Namaste.